2021 draft, very popular one to talk about here for the New York Giants. Well, Marcus Mosher of the 33rd team did a redraft of the 21 first round there. Now, recap real quick for those who may have forgotten what happened there. The Giants wanted, let's call it what it is. The Giants wanted Devonta Smith, who obviously went to the Eagles. They wanted to pick him at number 11. So pick 10 sitting there. He's still available. I guess the Cowboys didn't want him. The Eagles did. The two of our worst nightmares went ahead and traded to screw us over. And the Eagles ended up getting Smith. I think it was a third round pick that gave up to get him, like to drop 2 spots, which is ironic. We talked about the Falcons before.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, that was what the trade. I didn't put that in my notes, but I'm pretty sure that's what they gave up.
I believe you're right.
The Giants then traded with the Bears to go down to 20. Obviously, we got a little more than a third round pick to do that. Bears took Justin Fields. The Giants took one Florida wide receiver, Kadarius Toney, a man who lived in infamy in Giants history. The guy who still talks trash about us, so we're still going to talk trash about him.
Unless we're blocked from his X account.
Yeah, because he's a wuss. I mean, who said that? What?
What?
Who? What?
Yeah.
But yeah. So Mosher decided, like, so he redid this whole draft here. He went to a guy that didn't get drafted to the 6th round for us. And I love the pick. And that's the crazy part. Love the pick. I think Patrick Mahomes would hate the pick, but he's got both these guys in his team now. They had to take a Trey Smith. You know, every couple of years, there's a guy who drops that shouldn't have dropped. And it just is what it is at that point there. I mean, you know, you get a guy like Tunsil, who had the whole gas mask incident, and that made him drop at that point there. You had, what's his name? Laurel Collins? Is that his name? I'm trying to remember now. What was the one the Cowboys had that went off to Bengals?
Are you talking about
Laurel Collins. I'm looking it up to verify. I wasn't planning on mentioning that one specifically, but that came to mind. So I guess there was some kind of issue where the cops wanted to talk to him right around the draft weekend, and he was going to be a first round pick, Collins was, and they let him go and drop down, and then he was giving rumors he wasn't going to sign with anybody unless he wanted to go to that team, so they let him nobody drafted him. I said that year I would have drafted him with a 7th round pick. Screw you, you're coming in, deal.
Yeah.
But, you know, every couple of years there's a guy who drops like that. That year, it was Trey Smith. So the write-up Mosher gave, he said, Trey Smith fell to the 6th round due to a medical issue. But in this redraft, he goes to pick 20 to the New York Giants. Smith is a mammoth offensive guard who has started a combined 60 games, including the playoffs for the Chiefs during the last 3 years. Smith would really help the offense. I said would really help the Giants' weak interior offensive line. Yeah, 100% right. A whole lot more than Kadarius Toney is right now, that's for damn sure. You know, Kadarius Toney became a fan favorite pretty quickly because, you know, he had a interesting, you know, first year where you saw some spark there, but we didn't know all the off-field issues he was having within the organization. Obviously, he lasted not even a full second season with us before they traded him away for a 3rd round pick that later became Darren Waller. And then instead we could have Trey Smith, who's an all-pro guard, you know,
no headaches.
Cheap contract for 4 years too. Keep in mind, he's a 6th round pick. They're paying him peanuts until he gets re-signed. Then, you know, but in the beginning, they're paying him peanuts, and that's what they do. I mean, I feel like every year there's a guy who drops, and a lot of times for some reason it's been offensive line in recent history here. When a guy is talented and drops, sometimes you take the risk, especially if it's a 6th round pick. Most 6th round picks don't even make your roster. So great job by the Chiefs of recognizing the 31 mistakes that were going on. I'll give them their kudos for that. But in this case here, Trey Smith becomes a New York Giant. And imagine how much better offensive line is with Trey Smith and Andrew Thomas. That's 40% of our spots by like really good players at that point there. That would have been a huge difference. We probably wouldn't be sitting here going, Daniel Jones, his excuses still. His offensive line stunk. This stunk. That stunk. Here's one more spot that wouldn't have stunk. But unfortunately, we weren't smart enough to make that decision. So,
thanks for listening to Two Giant Goofballs, a New York Giants podcast. We appreciate your support.
Thanks so much.